Sarah Blakely sold her first pairs of Spanx for almost nothing. Not because she was desperate. Because she was building something no investor could see yet. A list of real customers who already said yes. That list became worth more than the product itself. And the people who taught her that strategy? They never wrote it in a book. Here is the part that should make you angry. The advice you have been fed your entire life. Charge what you are worth. Know your value. Never undersell yourself. That advice keeps you broke. It keeps you negotiating from zero. The people who actually built wealth did the opposite on purpose. They underpriced deliberately. They took the short-term loss. And then they did something with that loss that nobody talks about. They built a waiting list before anyone knew the product was going to be worth waiting for. Let me show you exactly how this works. Ryan Holiday sold his first consulting clients at $50 per hour. He was worth more. He knew he was worth more. But he was not selling consulting. He was buying proof. Every low-paying client was a testimonial, a case study, a name he could drop in the next conversation. By the time he raised his rates to $500 per hour, he had a folder full of results. He did not ask for business. He turned people away. That shift, from chasing to filtering, is what separates the self-made millionaire from the person who stays stuck at the same income level for a decade. The mechanics are specific. Pay attention here because this is the part that gets skipped. When you underprice your first 100 customers, you are not leaving money on the table. You are buying data. You are buying loyalty. You are buying a group of people who got in early and feel ownership over what you built. Those people do not just buy again. They recruit. They defend you. They share your story because your story became part of their story. Groupon used this exact strategy. Their first deal was a 2-for-1 pizza offer in their own building. They did not make money. They made believers. By the time they launched to real customers, they had proof that people would act, pull out a credit card, and follow through. That proof was the product they sold to the next group at full price. Here is the second layer. This is where it gets interesting. The waiting list those founders build? It is kept private deliberately. Not because they are hiding it. Because scarcity only works when it feels unmanufactured. When you apply to get into something and you are told there is a 6-week wait, you assume demand is real. You assume other people know something you do not. That assumption makes you want it more. That desire makes you willing to pay more when the doors open. The self-made millionaire is not charging low prices because they lack confidence. They are engineering a moment in the future when they get to raise prices with a full room watching. Alex Hormozi has talked about this directly. He sold his first gym memberships for $19 per month. Below cost. He filled the gym. Then he created a premium tier. The people who paid $19 per month felt like founding members. They upgraded. Their friends upgraded. Within 18 months, his average revenue per member was over $150 per month. He did not find more customers. He converted the ones he had collected at a loss. That is not luck. That is a sequence. If this is the first time you are hearing wealth mechanics explained this way, that is not an accident. Financial media makes money when you stay confused. Subscribe here. We cover the frameworks that the wealthy actually use, not the ones designed to sell you a generic course. Now here is the practical layer. The one you can use this week. You do not need to be building a startup. This works with freelancing. It works with creative work. It works with any service where reputation compounds. The move is simple. Identify the 10 to 20 people you most want to work with long-term. Offer them a price that makes them say yes immediately. A price that feels like a gift. Do not discount. Frame it as founding member access. Tell them explicitly that this rate locks in for life. Tell them the doors close after a limited number of spots. Then deliver something that exceeds what they paid by a factor of 3. Those 20 people become your sales team without a contract. They become your case studies. They become the warm introduction before you ever send a cold email again. You are not undercharging. You are investing in distribution. The reason most people never do this is psychological. It feels like losing. It feels like settling. The person who was told to know their worth reads this strategy and flinches. But knowing your worth means knowing that your worth compounds. It means understanding that the person who earns $8,000 in year 1 and builds a waiting list will out-earn the person who holds out for premium rates and books nobody in year 1. Empty calendars do not build confidence. Full ones do, even if the first ones are filled cheap. There is one more thing you need to understand. The waiting list is not just a business tool. It is a signal to your own brain. When you have a list of people waiting for you, your identity shifts. You stop performing for clients. You start selecting them. That shift in posture is worth more than any rate increase. Clients feel it. They pay more for it. They refer people into it. The millionaire did not start confident. They built a structure that made confidence inevitable. The first 100 customers were not the revenue. They were the foundation that everything else was built on top of. You have been told that charging more is the path. Sometimes the path starts by charging less, strategically, briefly, and with a plan already written for what happens next. That plan is what you were never supposed to see. Stay until the end of the next video. The second strategy these founders use after filling the list is the part that actually moves the money.